Well, welcome to the show, everyone. The 1 hour live show where we talk about all things reselling. We're full-time resellers. He's Chris, of course, and I'm Jason. This is another episode of Two Flippin' Dudes. So thanks for jumping in and watching us tonight. And thanks for engaging with us as well. Got a lot of comments coming in already. So thanks for jumping in here. And as always, whether it's your first time or whether you've been back many times, thank you. We appreciate it. But Chris, wouldn't be Two Flippin' Dudes without you. How's it going?
Dude, good to be here. It's going good. Happy Thursday. I'm psyched about tonight's show. This is going to be a good one. So if you're just kind of like cruising in and you're like clicking in, you're going to click out because you got other stuff to do or laundry or whatever, or you're going to go watch somebody else's live, stick around. I think tonight's show is going to be killer.
I think so too. Gallo Grody Adam says, "What's up, guys?" Adam, welcome to the live. Thanks for all you do and for being here. So, Chris, I want to hear about how your week has been going so far.
Good week, man. It's starting to be like summertime here in Florida. We're hitting the 90-degree mark already a couple of times, and I don't say that to make folks who are in the Great White North, like I know Neb's up in Canada, and we get some other folks I think that are from Ohio and some other places that are a little bit cooler. But I say that because now's the time where Chris starts whining and crying about the weather for a few months after being psyched about the weather ever since November. Now is when I'll start being whiny about it. So, but yeah, it's definitely been hot. It feels like summer. The humidity is creeping up, but it's nice to have AC in the car and AC in the thrift stores. I'll tell you that much.
I know, right? What's how hot is it there now?
I think right now it's probably settled down it's probably low 80s right now. I know yesterday when I was at the thrift store, it was 503. I checked the thermometer. It was still 89 degrees at 503. So I think the low tonight is supposed to go down into like the low 70s instead of the mid 70s. So there we go. It's actually been quite nice right now, aside from a few hours a day. It's the evenings have been nice. But that's got to change, I think, here in a few weeks. And I'm scared, to be honest. I'm still a mountain person trying to adjust to palm trees.
I know, right? It's been I mean, not to brag or anything, but it's been pleasant here. It's been 75 today. So technically I can wear jeans and a t-shirt and be fine, which that's kind of my perfect weather. Mid 70s, sunny. So
dang, I don't think we've been in like jeans weather. I think there was like a little blip in late January, early February where like you broke out the jeans, realized they didn't fit, by the way, but still jumped into them and made it work. But those days are long past. It's still Prana Zion shorts every day. I just bought a new pair of Prana Zions on eBay, a used pair from another reseller. Looked like a reseller that had a pretty good operation, shipped really fast, had good shipping materials, a nice little thank you sticker on the poly clear bag inside there, and the person looked like they had a lot of good inventory in there too. So, and they gave me a good price. Nice.
Colts Comics coming through with the comment here. When was the last time we saw Chris with no hat? Your hair's looking good, dude. You got
thanks, dude.
Got all fixed up for the show.
Well, last time you saw me without a hat was last Thursday. I didn't have a hat.
Really? I thought you had one on last week.
No, I did not. You can actually, it's recorded. You can go check it out. And in fact, if you guys missed last week's show, definitely worth checking out the recording for that show, because we had Line Creek Boutique David on as a guest, and it was just really fun talking to him and learning more about him and his hustle. So if you haven't watched last week's show, which is episode 17, if I have my math right, take a moment to check that out. Last week was 18?
Last week was 18. This is 19.
Catch up, Chris. Catch up.
You, it's okay. You've slept a few days since then.
How's your week been, Jason? What's up?
Dude, it's been strange, kind of, actually. We talk about a lot of like TikTok and YouTube and places where we're putting stuff out there. We talk about all the big hits and the home runs and things like that. But and so a lot of times we're touching on like glamorous stuff. But this week, honestly, Monday, this Furby back here, I got that returned to me because it didn't work, apparently. Buyers said put batteries in. The batteries were corroded. I switched out batteries. So I spent Monday an hour getting it to work. Finally got it to turn on. I had to kind of take it apart. And then Tuesday, the not so fun parts of reselling. Tuesday, I went through probably 100 pairs of shoes that I have. So pretty much my whole inventory of shoes, and wanted to make sure that all of them were listed on eBay in my spreadsheet, and then that I had them. So I ended up finding out through that, spending a couple hours doing that, I had 2 pairs of shoes that weren't on eBay that were in my garage. And then I had 1 listing of shoes that I didn't have that were on eBay. So I was able to update and do some kind of just tweaking of the store. So, not so fun to report about, but the other side of reselling that, as a full-time reseller, you kind of just have to do sometimes. It's not fun, but you do it anyways.
No, I applaud you for doing that. I think that's probably a lot of work that people dread and just end up not doing. But you made money by doing that, right? Otherwise, that stuff would have just, it would have just sat there for eternity and you would have never known it. So I think that's awesome. Good work. Do we have, time for some real-time reselling? You're talking about like the annoyances or the less fun parts about reselling. Do we have time for a live one right now?
Yeah, let's hear it. What do you have cooking over there?
So I have a Michigan jersey, Michigan University Wolverines, for sale on Facebook Marketplace. It's on eBay too. So I just got a message from, I won't say his name. I got a message from somebody who says, "Good afternoon. I'm interested in your jersey. Would you allow me to view it before I buy? Next Wednesday? I'm from Texas, but will be in Florida, misspelled, for a couple of days. I want to give it as a gift." And then, that's all they said.
That's an interesting request. It's really strange.
Because they say that they're going to be in Florida. Like, Florida's a really big state. There's 63 counties, in fact. So, like, what are the odds that this person is going to be in my immediate neck of the woods? And would it make sense for them to drive to me in the suburbs it's a $29 jersey?
Well, unless they're seeing like your location and your listing and going, "Oh, I'm going to be right through there," or something.
Maybe. Yeah. Obviously I have an interested buyer, right? So I'm got to respond to this, and I'll probably respond with questions like, "Tell me a little bit more about your trip. Like, where in Florida you're going to be," and just see how they respond and talk. But honestly, I'm not, I guess at the core, I'm not really interested in devoting time to meet with somebody, to have them look over an item. It's a peculiar, I understand the request, but I've described the item really well and taken a lot of pictures of it. There's no flaws to it. So I don't know what they would discover in their looking at the product. So maybe by having a back and forth with this person, maybe they'll realize that I'm not an axe murderer, and that I can explain to them the condition of the jersey, and like, "Hey, look, this thing's flawless. You're not going to find anything." And maybe just through that conversation, they'll realize I'm not a scammer, or I'm not a hack, or that I know what I'm doing, that kind of thing. Maybe they've had bad experiences in the past, but
yeah. Well, and I don't know when they're leaving, but one, I think it's wise that you said, I want to kind of hear more of the conversation. I want to hear them talk and just see if they're legit or what they're thinking. But, it could be something where it's like, I do accept returns. If you want to purchase, I can send it to you and hopefully get it there before you leave for your trip. So you can kind of take a look at it, and I can always take it back if you don't like it.
Yeah, that's a good point too. So yeah,
that's such a strange request. I don't know how I would handle that. So,
and if it was, if the request didn't cost me money, by saying yes to it. So Wednesday is a day that I'm out on the road and I thrift all day. Wednesday's half off day at my local Salvation Armies. So there's a 0.0% chance that I'm going to be sitting at home really at any point on Wednesday. I'm out. So yeah, to me, like, am I going to make a $29 sale potentially from this person? Sure. But at what is that going to cost me in terms of acquiring new inventory at that time? And how, everybody who's sold on Facebook Marketplace, and y'all can chime up in the comments here. Anyone who's sold on Marketplace knows when someone says they're going to be there at 2:30, what that really means. We've all had those.
They're meeting with another buyer at 2:30.
There's all kinds of, it could be delays and all that stuff. It could be just a nuisance. That's why I like eBay, and that's why I like shipping, and that's why I like Facebook Marketplace shipping. I don't love the pickup so much because it's frustrating. I actually didn't use Facebook Marketplace for almost 2 years as a means to sell, because I just didn't want to, the frustrations of meeting people and the back and forth and people being late and people changing their mind and people ghosting you. I just stopped using the platform. In fact, I stopped buying on the platform for the same reason. So it's to avoid exactly something like this that could turn into a mess. Anyway, I thought I would share that to you. That's kind of the not so fun part.
No, I'm glad you did, because I mean, these types of things, like I explained or what you just addressed, they happen all the time, or at least maybe not all the time, but these things are just part of the reseller journey. We're always talking about like, check out this big hit that I had or how much money I made, but there are always things with every job that you just don't want to do that make it not fun, and kind of you just have to do it, address it, whatever that means.
All right, I'm gonna type up a response to this live while we're on here, and I'll let you know what I end up drafting up and ship that out, and we'll see if we get a quick response. Maybe this can be maybe this could be fun. Or
maybe
fun.
Tell him to jump into the YouTube show and you can hold up the jersey here.
That would be funny. How about that?
Patricia said I did a meetup last week and the guy gave me an extra $5 for driving across town to meet him. That's pretty cool.
That's nice of you, Patricia. That's cool.
Yeah, and I'd say that's rare that happens.
And I'll be honest with you, I'm not driving halfway across town, quarter of the way across town, 1/10 of 1% across town to meet somebody. To be honest, like, you want it, come to the front door, ring the bell when you're here. Probably on a day where I'm not out thrifting. It can't be Wednesday.
Yeah, I'll usually meet someone like, a mile away. There's a spot like a mile away, and if they're willing to come this far, that way it's not at the house, but it's also close by in case they bail or something. So, but yeah, I haven't had that. I haven't had bad luck with buyers. I mean, I get is this available? Then no one says anything on Facebook. But as far as when someone says they're going to meet up, usually they're here. I guess I did have, now that I say that, I did have a pair of boots that the woman, Harley boots, I had them for like $100. And this woman was like, hey, I want these boots. I think I was telling you about this. And so I'm like, yeah, I work from home. I'm welcome to meet up. Just let me know the time. And she's like, okay, I'm going to come get them. And then I don't hear from her for like 3 hours. And then she's like, I had car troubles and my car's in the shop. A friend's going to bring me. This is like 1 or 2 p.m. after messaging in the morning. And so I'm like, okay, like I'm just working away. I'm not waiting on her. And then a few hours goes by, nothing. And then at 8 at night, I had sent her, probably shouldn't have done this, but I sent her my address to meet up over here. And at like 8:30, she's like, I'm at your house. And I didn't see the message until like 20 minutes later. And I'm just like, she just kept going on and on with these crazy stories about her car broke down and this happened and this happened. And I'm like, what is going on? Finally, I mean, I think I just blocked her. I was like, I'm moving on. This isn't worth selling these boots to you anymore.
Yeah, it's just, I know it's not a big deal sometimes, but sometimes like the emotional frustration. I mean, that's a thing. We all have like a limited supply of like emotional frustration that we can give up. Life has enough things to meet someone who's, and here's the thing about this specific request with this person about the jersey is like, a question like that tells me that this is probably going to be sort of a finicky kind of buyer anyway, right? That they're going to want to like look at a used jersey that's already well described and like, to me, that tells me that this person, there's probably already some like, this isn't one of my favorite buyers, right? Like,
they're going to be really particular, and they're probably going to negotiate down and talk about how this slight discoloration is worth $10 less, and then you drove to meet them, and yeah.
Absolutely. So it's like, and I know there's other like YouTube resellers who talk about like people who ask questions on eBay, like you almost never get sales out of them. And the rare times that you do get sales out of people asking questions, you often have problems with it and returns and all that sort of stuff. So to me, this person is already self-identified as probably not one of my favorite buyers. So anyway, I sent a message back. Hey, person, thanks for the note. What part of Florida will you be? And just kind of see where the conversation goes.
Nice. Well, if you end up meeting up and selling that jersey, which highly doubt, let us know, Chris. Here's a question that came in from Alex. What are some items we should be looking out for now that summer's coming? Yeah, this is a great question, Alex, and I appreciate you asking it. I would say, off the top of my head, two things that I would speak for myself. What I'm really looking for. Obviously, there are a lot of things you could be, but golf stuff. So golf polos, golf shorts, also golf equipment, clubs, shoes, things like that. I'm always looking for golf. Especially, you can pick up some really good stuff at yard sales and make really good margin on golf equipment. And then cycling. Cycling is a great, obviously, sport that's going to be majority of the time during summer, spring. You can get some really good shoes, cycling gear. I'm picky on jerseys per se. It has to be like a Pearl Izumi or Specialized. I don't just pick up every cycling jersey or have some kind of unique pattern or brand on it. But like you can get cycling jerseys that have like mascots, like teams, college teams or stuff like that. But yeah, I would say cycling and golf are two great categories to be looking for summer flips.
I'm going to zig a little bit, Alex, compared to what Jason's answer is, because I've been talking about, well, we've both been talking about buying golf stuff now for well over 2 months now, like stocking up on summertime stuff, springtime stuff, golf polos, Hawaiian shirts, like that one right back there, right? We've been talking about that for a few months because now is when all that stuff's been being bought. And even the last several weeks, I've been crazy busy with summertime stuff. So I'm going to zig a little bit and say, Alex, now's a great time to find jackets, to find sweaters that are going to be dirt cheap. And you're going to be able to find some really primo stuff at thrift stores because people are going to walk right by it because they're not picking that stuff up right now. So you're only competing with resellers for that stuff. You're not competing with consumers for that stuff. So that's what I would say is start stocking up for really that stuff, the premium stuff, the best winter stuff sells year round. It can be, I remember last year in July, it was a 100-degree day in Denver and I sold a jacket for like $80, and it's like, who is buying winter jackets, on a 100-degree day? And it was, it's like July 7th or something like that. Like, so stuff sells year round. Also be thinking about your September and October self will be thanking you a lot because things sell at the beginning of the season the most, right? So winter stuff is going to pop off once you get to like September and October. You'll be killing it. The other thing that you might think about too is retail arbitrage for some winter stuff because now you can get winter stuff retail arbitrage for deep discount. If you buy like 10 jackets of the same brand, retail arbitrage or online arbitrage, you'll probably end up selling a few of them over the winter time, maybe 2, and then you'll have 8 to sell over the winter. If you can afford to put some money on the shelf like that, obviously retail arbitrage is more expensive than thrift, but if you can afford to put money on your shelf and let it sit until October, November, December, when that stuff will sell all of a sudden all at once, then your future self will thank you for that. So anyway, that's my thoughts on it. Jason's ideas were great. Just thought I would throw some complimentary stuff on there.
No, that's really good, Chris. And we've been talking about this every week, but as things start to open back up, people are getting more formal attire for weddings and events and things like that. So even though you wouldn't think a jacket would sell in the summer, it will. So
I've sold 14 blazers in the last 30 days.
Yeah, I can't compete with that, but we both looked at our numbers and I think from March to April, you and I both close to doubled our blazer sport coat sales in units sold.
Yep, absolutely. I was selling 5 a month in February and March, and then April I sold 14 in a month. So, and I actually think that trend will stay strong for the next few months. People are getting married again. They're going to conferences. They're going to business meetings. They're going back to the office for gosh sakes. So I think that's going to be a hot market for a little while.
Yeah. Well, let's change directions. We didn't do this last week for good reason because we had David on and we wanted to give him a lot of time, but we haven't talked about Facebook and what's been going on in both of our worlds. Those that may be watching that may be newer to the show, Chris and I started cross-posting a lot of items. We're primarily eBay resellers, but we've started putting, as of March, items onto Facebook just to see as an experiment, how do things do when you ship on Facebook? For obvious reasons, you get more money, more margin there because of the smaller amount of fees. But every week we just take some time and kind of talk about what's going on Facebook in our world. So I'll kick it off, Chris, and then start off by saying so I've sold 34 items. So you and I started posting things. I was in March. I think you were a little after me. You may have been April, but since March, I've sold, meaning via shipped, 34 items on Facebook. And out of those 34, I had a first for me. Would love your feedback if you're watching. You've dealt with this before, but someone reached out today and basically said the shoes, they were a pair of Hoka shoes that had obviously been worn. I sold them cheap, like 25 plus shipping, which normally those things go closer to 50 if they're in good condition or higher. So I sold them cheaper. They got them and said, the shoes are really worn. I'll have to throw them away. They look like they're men's. Well, they were women's. And I'm having a hard time, telling whether this person is scamming me or if they're being legit. So I'm kind of waiting to hear back. I sent a message just like I always do and said, I'm really sorry to hear that. If you'd like to return them, I'll refund your money. They've seen it. They haven't responded. So I'm hoping they kind of just go away into the quiet, but we'll see if anything comes of this. I honestly have never had any buyer reach out after a Facebook sale. So I don't even know really what the protocol is here. I think you agree on they send it back and then you refund their money, but let's just hope it is what I think it is and they just don't do anything.
I hope so too. And it's surprising how many of those actually do happen. I can't speak to Facebook, but on eBay, like when, return requests pop up and then they sort of just go away or they never ship the item. So hopefully that's what happens over there. I've never had a return on Facebook or even anybody to even requested a return. I did get a cancellation for the first time last week.
On Facebook?
Yeah,
wow.
Facebook Marketplace. They ordered and then like 20 minutes later, they canceled. It was like a $15 order. So ordered it and it happened like at 5 a.m. when I was sleeping. So I didn't notice it. So it's not like I packed it or anything. I woke up to an order and a cancellation notice. So I thought that was interesting. So at least now I learned something new. Somebody can cancel an order on Facebook Marketplace. I didn't know that.
And Trisha says, watch your money transfers. Facebook will refund without notifying you. So that's good to know. And there, it's really hard to get a hold of anyone on Facebook as far as customer service goes. My experience has been you get exchanges over email. It's not very efficient. It's just kind of frustrating when you can't actually talk to someone like you can just call up eBay and talk. But I'm hoping that's not the case. I hope they don't just refund just because.
Agreed. Yeah, you would hope that they would that it would require like eBay, like it would require a return, and then there's a return tracking number created, right? A shipping label tracking number, and then a confirmation that thing comes back before the refund happens. But I don't know. Maybe somebody in the comments knows.
Yeah, Ginger said she had the same thing happen, and they just basically went away. So hope that's the case. I do want to, on a more positive note, end the kind of this Facebook report for me at least by giving the sales trends, because in March when I started, and again, I don't remember if it was the end of the month, but or if it was at the beginning. But if you take the amount of money that I made on my, so basically what Facebook paid me, so this would be my profit, obviously without considering cost of goods sold. I made $189 in March. In April, I made $776. And in May so far, first 6 days, I've made $218. So looking on trend to break April as well.
That's awesome. Wow, I'm excited for you.
Yeah,
and you're killing it. You're doing better than me on sales, but you're also putting more time and energy into it. You've listed more things. So, and you got on the horse a little bit sooner than I did.
Yeah.
So my Facebook update isn't going to be super interesting this week. I currently right now I have 92 listings up there. I've had a total of 20 sales since I started listing up there, and it's been about exactly a month. So I've had 20 sales, 19 of those were shipped. One was a pickup, and the person was reasonably on time, not on time, but close enough. In the past 2 weeks, I've only put up 6 fresh listings on Facebook Marketplace, and I've had 2 sales on Facebook Marketplace in the last 2 weeks. Interesting updates. One, I realized that so I had a week where I didn't have anything sell on Facebook Marketplace, and I didn't know why. But I had 2 different buyers reach out to me. One said he couldn't figure out how to pay on Facebook Marketplace. And I said, I thought it was really easy, but come to think of it, I haven't bought anything shipped. So I didn't know how to like walk him through the process. He said he had never bought anything before. So I directed it. I said, look, I have the same item available for the same price over on eBay if you want to purchase it over there. Obviously, I would have rather had him purchase it from Facebook Marketplace, 5% seller fees instead of 12.55. But whatever, I'd rather not lose the sale, right, than to quibble over the 7.55%. So I sent him over to eBay, gave him a direct link right to the product. He went and bought it a few minutes later. Great. Then I had another buyer later in the week who said, I'm having trouble buying this on Facebook Marketplace. And I said, I did the same thing. I said, well, sorry, it's not working. Here's a direct link to that product on eBay. And then the person was like, how do you pay on eBay? And I was like, okay.
That's what you expect on Facebook.
Yeah. So I signed it off as like, okay. The first person, they were a brand new user. Maybe they hadn't set something up and they didn't realize it. The second person, I was like, well, it just didn't seem like this person had it together. Their communication wasn't super solid either. So I said, well, just luck of the draw. Turns out I realized I had like, when I was looking at one of my listings, I was going to lower a price. I noticed there was a notification down below that said something about I had to enter in my tax information or that item couldn't be shipped. And then I looked at a couple other items and it had that same notification. And I was like, dang. And it turns out, so what happens is when you reach $600 or $599 in sales on Facebook Marketplace shipping, then you need to put in your tax information. And all it was me putting in my social security number. That was it. One field. I filled it out and then boom, I guess shipping was back live again. But I didn't know it. And I tracked it back to like, when did I hit $600 in sales? Cool. When did that first person reach out to me and have trouble paying on Facebook Marketplace? Got it. So basically I had all that stuff listed. But the only people who could have bought it were local pickup people. So it's like, I don't know how many sales I lost because of that, but whatever. So interesting thing. So that's just sharing my experience. And hopefully as some of you are, I know there's other people who have reached out on TikTok and YouTube saying that they're moving some stuff over on the Facebook Marketplace. Just be aware when you get to 600, you're going to have to put in tax information. And I don't know if there was a notification that I missed. I'm oftentimes like checking my phone about sales right before bed or when I first wake up in the morning. Maybe I missed a notification. But just know as you're creeping up in sales that you might have to enter that tax information or your stuff is not.
Won't be seen. Yeah.
So anyway, 2 sales. I did another update as I went in. I lowered a bunch of prices on stuff that was sitting up there because I priced everything basically the same on Facebook Marketplace as it is on eBay. But when you talk about the 7.55% difference in selling fees, I have some wiggle room to lower the prices a little bit and still make the same money on eBay. So I went ahead and did that. I lowered everything $2 to $4 depending on the item. Probably 90% of that 92 items in inventory, I lowered the prices on this week to see if I can stimulate some sales. But the biggest thing I need to do is I need to get back into listing on there. So I set myself a goal for May. I mean, we're in the first week of May. So I like to goal set every May. I'm looking at my goal board and
what you got? What's your goal?
My goal for listing on eBay this month is trying to read it. I want to list 280 items, which is 63 a week, 65 a week. I can't read my own writing. And I'm going to relist, so end and sell similar 240 items. And then on Facebook Marketplace, I want to list 100 items. And those will all be cross lists. So it won't be like 280 listings on eBay plus another 100 on Facebook Marketplace. It'll probably be, an overlap of all those items probably. So that's 25 a week. So I've done 3 this week of my Facebook Marketplace. I got some work to do there. Luckily, those are easy, right? Because I'm just
take a minute or so.
They just take a few minutes. And I'm halfway to I have 31 listings on eBay. My goal for a week is 65. So I'm actually a little behind pace because today is usually a big listing day, but that's kind of a story too. And I don't know if you want to hear that story, but
Chris, I want to give you a real time. This does not have anything to do with Facebook, but I want your feedback.
Okay. I'm
on
all
offer. I just got an offer. So tell me what you would do on this. You ready? Sorry, we're switching gears abruptly.
I like it.
So I'm going to share this. All right. So here's what the offer is. This is a real-time reseller. What do we do? Check it out. Brooks Brothers, Madison wool suit jacket, 41 pants. Anyways, the rest doesn't matter. So this is a Brooks Brothers suit, pants and jacket. We're talking about suits right now. We're talking about blazers.
Yeah.
On the show, suit is in excellent condition with the exception of small hole. And let's see, where is it? That's the hole on the back of the elbow there. So small hole. I mean, it's not huge, but it's a flaw, obviously. Got it for 40. Offer came in for 25 plus 15. Would you take that or would you counter? I think I know what I'm going to do, but I'm just to get like the real-time processing.
How much are you into it for?
The suit cost me, man, it was just like generic. It wasn't like I probably paid $10 or less for this guy.
Okay. So let's survey the situation a little bit. So first of all, I think just the suit coat for that, like I would typically list that on a 46R Brooks Brothers Madison 100% wool suit jacket. I'm going to list just the jacket for probably $46 plus 10 shipping.
With the flaw.
Without the flaw. I'm saying just like
right.
if it was excellent. I'm just sort of like laying the groundwork.
The groundwork. Yeah.
So that's what I would list that for. I haven't listed a Brooks Brothers suit, but I would probably list the full suit for 65, and maybe 60 or 65, 59 or 64.95. And so you're pricing it at 40, which I think is a good price for the flaw. But I'm accepting the offer.
Yeah,
25.
honestly, that's where I was. I had an offer on this earlier. I countered like low 30s. I think now at this point, $40 for a suit that has a hole in the back elbow, and still make profit on this guy. I think I'm happy with that.
Yeah, what I've been doing with flawed items now for the last few months, if not longer, is I pretty much, if it's a flaw, I pretty much accept whatever offer comes in. I price at the bottom of the market, usually a few bucks less than everybody else, and then first offer that comes in, that thing's gone. I want to get rid of the flawed stuff fast. I did actually have a flawed thing that sold today, and I countered $2 higher, but the offer was particularly low. I think at 25 plus shipping, I think you're doing pretty good. It's kind of an unfortunate flaw too. It's not like the lining on the inside had like a little
right or a small spot or something. It's going to be noticeable.
So I think
if it was a spot, I would have countered. But with a hole, you kind of just like you have a buyer in hand for $40 on a suit.
I agree with that. I think, I think a small spot that's not in a really prominent place, like not like right on the lapel or something. I think a small spot I'm countering, and I'll probably counter at 30 because again, I want to dunk the sale, so $5 higher. But I think I'd accept it at that, given the nature of the flaw.
Yeah, but obviously, I'm with you. I was thinking when I picked that up, okay, this is an $80 sale or so with shipping. So I mean, to get 40 on a flawed suit, I'm happy with that. But Brooks Brothers. Obviously, a flawed Brooks Brothers suit still goes for $40. It's a great brand.
Yeah, nice sale on that. And did you click? Is that done?
Yeah,
done deal.
I did accept it. It's a done deal. So
good work, my friend. A couple people. Trisha's yelling counter ! Neil's counter. Neil, thanks for joining again. Good to see your name in here.
This is a really good comment that we've been saying a lot lately, Chris. You're not in the storage business.
Yeah, and I've been moving a lot of stuff. I mean, my units sold are really high because I'm just moving stuff. If the offer is reasonable, let's get it gone. Let's get it moving, especially flaws. Let's go. Let's get it gone. Yeah. I want to welcome Yakov Benz. Sorry if I'm pronouncing your name wrong. Mr. Benz, welcome to the show. I think this is the first time I've seen your name in the chat. So welcome aboard. Asked a question, are you full-time? Absolutely. We're both full-time. This is what we do, how we pay the bills.
That's right. Left and haven't looked back.
Jason's been full-time for a good bit longer than me. I think, gosh, did you just have was it
a 3-year anniversary? April was 3 years. April 9th was my first official day full-time. Yeah.
Congratulations. I mean, just zooming out from reselling a little bit, like how many businesses last 3 years without going under? I mean, you stayed afloat for 3 years as a business. That's something to be and done really well at it. That's something to be proud of. That's awesome.
Yeah.
For me, this weekend would be my 5-month anniversary being full-time. And I promise you, I ain't looking back right now.
No, this is prime time right now. Maybe in a couple months when we hit the summer slowdown, but right now, this is when the sales are coming in.
Summer slowdown is coming. I just don't think it's coming as soon as most years. And I don't know that it's gonna hit as hard this year, but I don't have a crystal ball. I just have a biased opinion.
Yeah, you and I have been talking about this because obviously this year is unique because of the coronavirus. And my speculation is, will people, I mean, I think traveling will increase this summer. I wouldn't say probably more so than last summer, but I don't think it's going to be to its normal, what people are normally traveling during the summer. So usually traveling means people aren't spending money. They're spending thousands on vacation. So they're not going to be buying stuff in stores. But if they're not traveling, will they be spending that money elsewhere? So it could be a little bit of a bump of a summer sale compared to past summers. So
I agree with everything you said, and I'm also betting on a couple of other things. I'm betting on pent-up demand. Americans like to spend money, and they didn't spend money, particularly on clothes, which is what we sell most of. They weren't spending money on that stuff for a long time. So I believe pent-up demand exists, and it will take a while for people to kind of restock on all their clothing. There was another, consumer confidence is really, really high. And if you look at if you just Google Americans' bank accounts or checking accounts being at all-time highs, people have saved a lot of money.
Yeah.
And now that consumer confidence is high again, and people are, vaccines are coming out, I think a lot of that pent-up demand, people have, not only is there pent-up demand, but there's literally pent-up bank accounts ready to go. So I think we're going to see, I think summer is going to be better for most people than most summers. And I don't think the summer slowdown will start as normal. And I should actually ask you that, Jason, since you've been doing this longer than I have by a significant amount. What's the date that summer slowdown typically starts for you?
So you kind of think the retail cycle kind of follows and the housing market is the same. It kind of follows school. So when school is out and kids are on summer break, that's when people travel. That's when people kind of transition into a different time of year. So, you think end of May, beginning of June, that's typically when schools are out. That's when sales will start to slow down or could potentially slow down. And then as soon as the school year wraps back around at the end of summer, that's when people start to get into their routine again. They start purchasing. So you'll notice it pick back up. Usually around end of August, September, you'll start to notice a bump lift in sales. So, I'm just looking at last year, which obviously last year is kind of a throwaway since it was such a weird year. But June and July have been very bad months for reselling in my history. Not awful, but just definitely less than Q2.
How was June last year? Because what I noticed is I had a really bad March and April. Really bad. And then May was great, and June was great, and July was brutal. So my summer slowdown was really July and part of August. May and June were good for me.
Yeah, and it's hard for me I can't really answer that question for me because I was in the get rid of stuff, I'm moving mode. And so right. I wasn't acquiring. And a lot of people weren't acquiring because thrift stores were shut down for a while, but
right. I forgot about that.
I was on the other end going down. So last summer was brutal for me because I had low inventory.
Your inventory was lower than it had been really since you started full time, and you weren't acquiring new, fresh, hot inventory, right? Because you were on losing weight for the move and physically doing the move. Yeah, so that makes sense. So your numbers are sort of irrelevant from last year as a predictive tool.
Yeah, they really are. I was down under 1,000 items in my store, which was half of what I was at the beginning of the year. So.
Man, at that level, you're like this little puny store like mine at that point.
I wasn't going to say that, Chris.
Hey, everybody's on their own journey, right? And
that's right.
I love this quote. Never compare your beginning to someone else's middle or end, right? And
it's so easy to do.
You're somewhere, maybe not towards the end, but you're way deeper in this journey than me. I'm maybe at the beginning of the middle. I don't even know if that's fair, right? And I know some of our watchers, I know Trisha's out there and she's like, I just went full time 2 weeks ago, right? And some people, I see Juan in here. Welcome, Juan. Good to see you. No worries for being late to the party. We're just glad you're here. The party just got better. But Juan's part time, right? So comparing inventory numbers and sales per month to you or to I doesn't make sense, right? Like you gotta be real with kind of where you are in the journey and what the goal is right now, you know?
Well, I mean, everyone does it, or at least has that potential to struggle with that. I mean, even myself, we always look forward, like who's ahead of me. So we're always holding someone in front of us at like this status of I've got to get to here. Honestly, I'm content with where I am. I still want to keep growing, but I'm happy with where I am, especially compared to last summer. So comparison is the thief of joy. It's so easy to do, but for the most, if you can help yourself and not do it, don't compare yourself to where someone else is.
Absolutely. That said, like I'm still looking up at you, and I'm going to catch you. I'm going to catch you. I'm running. I hope I don't, because I know that I hope you keep growing at a crazy pace too.
Yeah. Well, you know, it's crazy. We're this far into the show. We haven't shown any thrifted items, but now it's time for our flipping game.
How about that? We haven't showed anything. Can we show something?
I mean, give us your one hit before we go into the game right now. What you got?
Oh, I have so many items to show too. I'm going to show this though. Boom. I've been finding real designer stuff at the thrift store the last few weeks. I don't know. I'm like on fire with this. I've never found Versace before, and this is a pretty legit shirt here with these metal buttons with the, I don't know what the logo is. It's got like a face or something on it.
Wow.
Really nice shirt. Here's an interesting thing. This is a question out there to people. The buttons on this are facing to the right, which would indicate that this would be a women's shirt typically, right? That's a good way to tell women's shirts from men's shirts. The buttons go the opposite direction. However, I don't think this is a women's shirt because it's a size small on the tag, and it's basically, I haven't measured it yet, but it basically sizes up like what a medium, maybe a bigger, small men's would size up. You know, a good indication is the sleeve length. You know, women's shirts always have shorter sleeves, so this is like a sleeve length that would fit me. So does anyone know, does Versace, just because it's like a designer, you know, Euro brand, do they do it opposite with the buttons?
Can you show the buttons again? I want to see it. I didn't get a good view of the button detail.
Oh,
hang on. Let me. Yeah. Wow. Yeah. It's crazy.
I mean, you can tell too, this is a nice quality shirt. So anyway, I pulled some other, you said one, I'm breaking the rules. Look at this. Here's a brand I've
got you out, Chris. I'm going to remove you.
Brioni, bro. Look at that. I found 2 Brioni shirts back to back, same thrift store, both of them same size, linen Brioni shirts at that. Come on now.
Carol is answering your question for you. It's a woman's shirt. Men's and women's buttons are on different sides.
Yeah.
Well, yes, that's very true. But is that the same with Versace, Carol?
Yeah, that's what my question is. Is maybe Versace different because of the nature of the brand? Because the shirt definitely does not measure like a women's small. It probably measures more like a men's medium. I haven't measured it, but just sizing it up, holding it up, it would be bigger than a woman's XL. Like the sleeve length on a woman's XL would be shorter than the sleeves on this thing. But maybe the sizing is different. Maybe the S isn't actually small. Maybe the S means something else. That could be it too.
Very true. Maybe short sleeves, like shorter length sleeves.
Maybe. I'll look and see if there's like another tag that has a size. I don't know. Anyway, it's a mystery. I'll figure it out.
All right. Well, let's get into our game, because we got a flipping game that we play every week, and Chris is defending his last week's title.
Our usually high-tech scoreboard is going to be extra high-tech this week because I just realized I didn't make a scoreboard. But that's all right. We'll make this work.
We'll make do.
All right, we got a flipping game. We got 2 flipping dudes, 5 flipping questions. Question number 5 is important because we need you out there, you live viewers. You're going to decide who wins question 5 or category number 5 by vote. And there'll be one flipping winner. I won last week. And so that means I'll be going first. So we're going to category number 1. I forgot like even my cards. Where are they?
That's all right, because I have it here on the screen.
Biggest sale of the week, right on. So here we go. My biggest sale.
Chris won last week, so he goes first this week.
My
Boom.
biggest sale of the last 7 days were these diesel jeans. These were a retail arbitrage purchase, and I got a full price, $89. Or sorry, I got an offer of $80 plus $9 shipping, so I got $89 full total price for these jeans. Nice little flip there. I've done really well with diesel retail arbitrage jeans.
Love that brand. Yeah. Good flip.
Thanks, brother.
Here it is. This one could have won 3 categories, or I could have entered it into 3 categories. Biggest sale, biggest profit, and fastest flip. But I can only pick one, and so I'm going with biggest sale. This was, those of them that have been watching, I've picked up several of these Saunders, and this brand has appeared in the show several times. I picked this up for $30 at the register. It was behind the cash register. I was like, what's in that case? Can I see that case? I saw the price tag. I'm like, if it's 30, it's probably something good. As soon as I saw Saunders, I was like, I'm picking this up. I listed it yesterday and it sold for full price, $234.79. Within 3 hours of listing it, I was
amazing
floored, because this is another case where honestly, there were others out there that were lower price. I don't understand. Like, mine gets listed, someone snatches it, but I mean, I'm not complaining. I just don't understand the methodology behind, if you're going lowest price. I don't know. Maybe they're looking for top rated seller. Maybe that could be it.
You are the king of Saunders cervical traction neck devices. You're the king of those, and those chili pepper bottles. Yeah, the king of those too. Nobody sells more of those things, of both of those things, than Jason.
Maybe I should just contact eBay about Veros and be like, we need to shut down those Saunders sellers over there. Exactly. Just pretend to be a rep from the brand, from the company.
Can we just not use that word on this show, the V word?
Velcro?
What's exactly?
Don't say that one either.
Flipping scoreboard. Jason takes round number 1. So let's go to round number 2. We're looking for the best profit on one single sale from the past 7 days. And here is mine right here. I think I featured this shirt on the show a few weeks ago.
Yeah, I remember this piece.
Is a Porsche Drivers Collection. A really cool piece. Never found anything like this. And it's featuring a one particular vehicle. It's a RS 2.7 from 1973. Look at that, 210 horsepower. Nice looking little vehicle there. So I accepted an offer of $45 plus $6 shipping, so $51 all in. I made a $35 tidy little profit on this little Porsche shirt.
Nice.
I paid $4 for that shirt, and it's the rare white shirt that was like completely flawless. So
nice. Here's mine. This was a Facebook sale. This Joe Rocket motorcycle jacket. Here, I'll just go full screen there. But yeah, it was a heavily padded jacket. You can see like padding on the back of the elbows there and on the shoulders. Joe Rocket Ballistic Series. Got $100 for it total on Facebook. And let's see, what did I make on this guy? Profit of $51.87. So I paid up for this. I paid $30 for it at Goodwill, but I knew it'd go for close to 100, so I was willing to do that.
Nice sale. That's a couple of $30 like down payments on things that really paid off for you this week. That's awesome. Great sale. Yeah,
that was a Facebook sale where the guy said, I don't know how to do Facebook. Can you call me? So I called him and walked him through making the sale on Facebook.
Dang. We got an update from our potential buyer for the jersey. He says, flying into Fort Myers, but we'll be visiting up in the Sarasota area. Where are you located? AKA, he's not going to be close to me at all. So it's just kind of a weird thing. Anyway, I'll respond to him later. Colts Comics is in with the chili bottles. He's the king of infused chili bottle things. Anyway, updated scoreboard. Jason, 2. I almost said Jason with the
fancy.
Too, but there's no shoes on this one. It's just check marks. So here we are. We're moving on to the fastest. Why'd you put me up here? Fastest flip of the week. So
where did I go?
I was like, "Where's Jason? Are you there? Did you hang up?"
I clicked a button and I was out.
So my fastest sale actually came on Facebook Marketplace, which isn't really surprising. We've had a lot of quick sales up there. Oops. You can see my buyer. Sorry. Sorry, fire. Here we go. I picked this hat up for $3 at a thrift store or $2, I forget. It sold. I put it up there for $13. Wanted to get the quick flip. It sold for $10. I got an offer for it. $10 plus 5 shipping. It was out the door, and I got it written down here. Thought I had it written down here. 1 hour and 22 minutes, just blazing fast.
Wow, I can't beat that, Chris, but I'm gonna try. I actually got really close on this guy. Believe it or not, Ralph Lauren Performance. I don't see many performance shirts, and
no, it's rare.
See the tag right there. It says Slim Fit Performance, which is a nylon blend, so it's a stretch. It's a moisture wicking. But sold this on a best offer, $29 within 2 hours and 24 minutes of listing it.
Dang, nice quick sale on that. I'm telling you, and that's a bolo for you watchers out there. The performance Ralph Lauren is key because that's that synthetic blend. In that case, I think it was nylon, and people look for those. Anything that can help you stand out from a very crowded market like Ralph Lauren, anything that's a little bit different. And that performance definitely helps because there won't be very many performance listed at any given time, and people specifically look for that performance. I've had really good luck with it.
Yeah, so make sure to get that keyword in the title.
Absolutely, performance, and then if it's nylon or polyester, make sure you get that in there too. Here we go. Updated scoreboard. Jason 2, Chris 1. I'm on the board and I'm ready to rock and roll. Okay, so next up is the slowest sale of the week. This is my favorite category because I didn't realize I shared my whole screen instead of this. This is my favorite category because I love getting rid of this old inventory that's been sitting around. It's just triumphant to dig that out of the bottom of the bin and get rid of it and make some profit off it. So this Eddie Bauer Travelers shirt, and the key, there's a story behind this, but anyway, let's zoom in on that tag. That's the Travelers tag. So that's a model that people look for in Eddie Bauer. I purchased this June 15th, 2019 at the Goodwill Lakeside in Denver, Colorado. I don't know if you ever went to the Goodwill Lakeside. That's the one that's up by the Casa Bonita.
Very rarely, but I know which one you're talking about.
That was actually the closest Goodwill to my house. That was like a common after work quick stop and see if I can just yank 10 or 12 items out of there. So anyway, I picked up this Eddie Bauer up there, and it was on June 15th, 2019. I've had it for 687 days in my inventory. The story behind this is I was refreshing, ending in selling similar to refresh a lot of my old listings. This was one of them from a few weeks ago. And I noticed that Travelers tag up in that I just showed you. And right there, I noticed that tag. And since I first listed this shirt, I've learned that is something that people look for, and I've sold other ones. So I was like, hey, that's a Traveler's tag. And I didn't put that in the title. So I went and put it in the title, and this thing sold within a couple of weeks after it had been listed for, almost 2 full years, a year and 10 months. So that shows you that we just talked about using the keyword performance on that Ralph Lauren, how that made that thing sell really quick. That's the difference from this thing sitting forever and it's selling within a couple of weeks.
Yeah, very true. You would have had me, but I just made a sale right before the show. Right before the show.
That's awesome. I love it.
And it was an offer that it was a little low, but I looked at the date and I was like, this has been over 2 years. I got to get rid of these. So here they are, FootJoy Contour golf shoes. I don't honestly know why these didn't sell. I mean, they're men's 12. I've had them since February 13th, 2019 is when I listed them originally and finally accepted the best offer. I had them for 24 plus 10. He offered 15. I countered at 20. He came up $1. So I was just like, I could counter. I'm just going to take it. $26.
Yeah, I'm surprised.
But take a look at this, Chris. I mean, this was kind of one of those things where I didn't have Magic Eraser at the time, but you can even see the price that I paid. I don't know if it was half price, but $12.99 for those shoes.
That's hilarious.
Yeah. So, I mean, if he saw that, he's like, I'm not offering much more than $12.99.
Well, we both had, there you go. We both had an example there of showing that we're learning, moving forward and getting, improving our operations slowly but surely.
Yep, exactly.
Dang, nice slow sale on that one. I don't know why those FootJoys sat around for so long. I've had really good luck with those.
I know, right? And I mean, those are more casual, I think more desirable. So I don't
I
know.
would think so too. I don't know. That's unexplainable. Maybe people with size 12 feet don't golf. I don't know.
Yeah, I
All
want to
right.
agree with Jeremy on this. Everyone, hit the like button, please. Support us by just tapping the button.
I appreciate that. Thanks very much, Jeremy. That's kind of you for sure. All right, so we're moving into our
Last
final category. I feel out of sorts without my flashcards at hand. But last category, we're talking about coolest find of the week. So we just told you about some sales. Now we're talking about something that we found over the past 7 days. We're going to need you to vote. So you get to decide who has the coolest pick. If you think Jason has the coolest pick of the week, go ahead and put J in the chat. If you think Chris, myself, has the coolest pick of the week, go ahead and put a C. But wait until we show you the items first before you vote. And I'll say the definition for cool, it doesn't have to be the thing that's going to make the most profit. It might be the thing that makes you smile the most or the thing that you like the most, whatever resonates with you the most. So, yeah, let's do that. I guess I won last week, so I'll go first.
you are up.
I'm pumped about this item. I think y'all are going to be too. Ooh-wee. All right.
Chris has been building my suspicion, my anticipation, my suspicion too. He's cheating.
I just noticed the shoulder pads on this thing too that I didn't notice until just now. Look at
What?
this. Are you kidding me? Who is going mall walking with me tomorrow? Look at this thing. So here we go with the brand Clipper Bay. Look at that vintage tag here. 100% polyester trim, 100% nylon body. Look at it's got, you can't see them, but it's got these really big shoulder pads.
I know what you're talking about, Chris. I'll show you in a sec.
But look at this thing. Oh man, the design got a little bit on the back too. I mean, this is a mall walking classic. I mean, I'm ready to go. I'm just disappointed that it didn't come with the pants too, so it could be the full tracksuit. If you want to have some fun right now, y'all, as if this show isn't enough fun in and of itself, or this piece isn't enough fun. If you want to have some fun, go ahead and check eBay. Just search for Clipper Bay. Just trust me on that. Just search eBay for Clipper Bay. Look at some sold comps and stuff.
I'm doing it right now.
Pieces. Some great keywords, by the way, in some of the results too. While you're doing that, can you put me big while you're checking that out? I want to get like some of the, look at these, like it's like gems, and look at some of that detail on there. And like that, what do you call this?
Dude, that is an amazing piece.
Wimble says yes. I just picked up a.
Just a reminder: don't vote for C yet.
Wimble's, yeah, don't vote yet. Because I'm sure Jason has some fire. Wimbles, what brand did you pick up? I'm curious, because this is going to be like, Jason's the king of chili pepper bottles and these Saunders cervical neck traction device units. I want to be the king of 90s mall walking tracksuits.
Chris, you can't, because here's one I sold today, waiting to be shipped out. So you can't be the king.
That's awesome. What's the brand? Winter Set. Can you show us the tag? We need. Oh, look at that tag. It's beautiful. Woo.
Yeah. So I have to show you this other one too, because your piece is definitely better than either of mine. But let me just pop in here and show you this other one that I have. I'm kind of shocked it has no. Okay.
I'm watching and I'm listening, but I'm just going to be off screen for a second.
Kind of shocked that it hasn't sold yet. Oh, well. Okay. Well, never mind. I'll see if I can find it and then bring it back on. Man. Yeah, I picked up 2 of those. That is amazing. You should have come wearing that jacket, Chris. I mean,
it kind of fits, to be honest.
What's the what do you call that? I don't know if it has a name, but like, is that like jewelry? Like, I guess it's more of like a paisley or something.
Yeah, but it does have like literally jewelry on it. Like, oh, and here's the thing. There's a story behind this. So this is on the dollar rack. I went to a thrift store today that I've never been to before. And because I had to run an errand down in Clearwater and I wasn't psyched about that errand. I'm like, usually I list all day and I'm like, I'm not going to get any listing done today. So I was like, I'm just going to go hit a couple of thrift stores, cheer me up, get some stuff. So I go to I'm going to go exploring places I wouldn't normally go because I was kind of in an area that I don't typically go to. So anyway, I went to this thrift store, most of the stuff was overpriced. It's a chain. It's called Suncoast Hospice, Surfside Hospice. I forget. And they have a chain, and their clothes are usually overpriced. They have a boutique section. It's all like $8-12 for anything that's even remotely good. But they had a dollar rack at this place. I picked 3 things off that dollar rack. This was one of them. And I saw this and I was like, that is beautiful. I want to look it up before I just buy it. So I went to look it up, and like a woman comes over and like grabs the jacket and starts looking at it. I'm like, oh no. I'm not going to fight like a 70-year-old woman over this jacket.
Oh man.
And then she puts it down. I was just pretending I was doing something else. I didn't want her to think I was
watching out of the corner of your eye.
Walking away. I'm looking at some mugs. I'm looking at the comps. I'm like, man, I'm getting this thing. So I go back over, and then someone else is looking at it. Another like 60, 70-year-old woman. I was like, gosh. I was like, don't buy it. She's looking at it. And then someone else I saw like coming across the store, like definitely spotted it. I'm like, I grabbed it and threw it in the cart. I'm like, I'm gone. I'm getting it.
Yeah.
Man, am I glad I did.
I mean, I don't even know if I need to show mine right now. You've already got 3 votes, Chris. I haven't even shown mine yet.
I have jewelry on my mall walker.
Ginger says, I can't vote, missed it. Well, you didn't miss it, Ginger, because Chris is wearing it. All right, well, I'm going to do my best to top you on this one, Chris. I think this one's pretty sweet. You saw it hanging in the back there, but check this out. Polo jeans, Ralph Lauren flag on the front, rugby style shirt. This is an amazing piece that I should get. Well, under normal circumstances, I would say $40 to $50, but I didn't see this until after I left. There's a tiny little hole under the collar that someone may not care as much about. Like right there. But check out this piece. Pretty sweet, huh?
Absolutely. Good grab on that.
Maybe I should just add this to the closet right there. Keep this piece myself.
That is a sweet piece. Is it your size?
I think so. I think I could rock it. I've got a couple of items I thrifted today that I'm thinking about keeping, but I don't know. We'll see. It's a sweet piece.
It absolutely is. So we got, I guess people, the votes are open. If you think Jason's really cool rugby shirts, Ralph Lauren jeans company with a little American flag on there, if you think that's the coolest pick of the week by your definition of coolest, go ahead and put a J in the chat. If you think this bedazzled jewelry, mall walker, classic vintage, what is it, a Clipper Bay jacket. If you think this is the flip of the weekend, please go look up Clipper Bay on eBay, and we'll check out some pieces on there. They are beautiful.
I think you should go with Jeremy's suggestion here. You know, this could be a new TikTok character for you, Chris. Bust into the mall walker lady scene.
Man, imagine if I guess I should probably imagine if I wore this thing like out thrifting and stuff, like what people I don't want to draw attention to me when I'm like out thrifting. I don't want to talk to people. I'm trying to work. I'm trying to find stuff, but maybe I should just start wearing this thing.
Or yeah, I think you should throw together like the most random things though, like that jacket with a really sweet like hat, maybe even like a sports team hat or something. Yeah, there you go.
Rock my like vintage Wyoming piece. By the way, how cool is this thing?
Now you would just shaved off 10 years of your life, Chris. You would look like a 20-year-old.
I'd put this hat on, but I haven't washed it. It feels weird.
You definitely swept that one. I got 1 vote, but well deserved. I mean, I think could register in one of the coolest picks of the show category, like all shows.
Maybe this is one of my favorite finds. If you can't tell my excitement for sure. So here we go. Flippin' scoreboard, the final Flippin' scoreboard from this week. Jason with 3, Chris with 2. So nice win. I feel like it's always nice. You know, it feels like I knew I had lost before we went into category number 5, but it always feels like some sort of like, I don't know, like it's like a win in and of itself just to win category number 5 sometimes, you know, especially after you just lost the game. It's nice to win question number 5. So
yeah, I'm loving Juan's comment. He said trying to talk up the shirt. I was really trying to talk up the shirt. You know, I knew I had to really do something to even have a chance, but holy jacket, I'm with David on that. That was a great piece.
Dang. Well, this was a fun show. Should we call it, or should we show? Do we want to show some more cool? Do you have stuff that's like let's show more pieces worthy, or do we do our question of the night and get out of Dodge?
Well, I'll leave this up and people can answer if they want to throw in their big flip this week. I had something really cool happen, and is Leslie in here? Central Illinois reseller. I think she was earlier. So I went live today, Chris, thrifting, and she was talking about Peter Millar. I found a Peter Millar, so I'm like, Leslie, you're my good luck charm today. And then you know, she's still watching. I'm still looking for stuff, and she's like, well, you're gonna find another Peter Millar or a Travis Matthew. And I kid you not, within 5 minutes, I find a Travis Matthew.
No way.
So this is a brand I don't think we've talked about on this show. I'll go ahead and show it.
Yes.
Travis Matthew right there. Now I usually go for like colorful striped. I don't usually pick up the like the solid color ones, but if I see striped. So I find this and then I'm like, all right, what else do you have? And she's like, you're going to find a Harley Davidson. Well, I didn't at that store, but I did at another store. So,
ooh, nice one.
Yeah, check that out. That's the back. Here's the
Oh,
front.
man. Gosh,
it's a long sleeve shirt, but it's heavy cotton. It's got patches on the side. So,
oh yeah, I mean to have just the big kind of back patch like that is awesome. But then to have a spell out too on the front, and patches on the shoulders, that's great. I think you'll get good money for that.
Yeah, it's got a lot of colors. So, yeah, I had some good finds today.
Absolutely, I had a good day today and yesterday, and that was refreshing because I had a total bread and butter week last week. Like I pulled a fair amount of items last week, but it was all like, all right, I'll probably get like, 22 to 26 on like everything I pulled, which is great. I love bread and butter. Like I really do, but it's fun to find like cool different things.
It really is.
And this week, man, did I have fun. I found some, I showed you the Brioni. I found 2 of those, a Versace. Check out this. Talking about polo, like unique pieces, look at the dual pony action on this thing, the number like
on this. Oh yeah. Yeah.
Find these things too often. Actually, I've never found a dual pony Ralph Lauren. So that was a fun new piece for me.
We were talking about, while you're showing some items, we were talking about golf earlier, summer things to pick up. Peter Millar hat. I like it.
Yeah, but you'll like it better now.
New with tags.
Come on,
nice.
Now, right? Are you kidding me?
What does a new with tags Peter Millar hat go for? $30?
I haven't looked it up yet, but I would say off the top of my head that would be probably a pretty good guess.
Yeah. So we've got David said he sold a Callaway Hickory putter, paid 50 cents, sold for $80. And Jeremy follows that up with a Callaway golf bag bought for 14, sold for 100. So golf stuff selling right now.
Absolutely. No surprise, like Line Creek with golf. Just always selling that stuff. Jeremy sells a lot of golf bags, I feel like, too. Rain Spooner, still get the TJ.
Rain Spooner, dude. I forgot about that brand.
I would have bought this shirt on the TJ Maxx tag for $20, but I found it at a thrift store for $4. But I would have bought it at that price because it's new with tags. Rain Spooner. And
I used to look for that when I started reselling all the time, and I'd forgotten about it until you just said something.
I mean, it's a double XL, beautiful silk shirt like this. I would have paid the $20, and I would have been really satisfied with that.
Show the tag again, just so people can see what the way it's spelled and stuff. Rain Spooner. It's not like you would think it would be.
Yeah, so it's REYN, Rain, and Spooner, just like you would, phonetically do it. Not a fork, but a spooner. Really cool piece on, and like bright colors like that. Really nice pattern. I mean, this thing is hotcakes. Used to this thing would probably get, I don't know, it's probably a $35 shirt used. I don't know what I'll get new.
Yeah. I'll address this question before we go, but Neil asks, what's a good price for Peter Millar to get from Goodwill? If you mean like what you can sell it for, I'll answer it that way. Sales wise, like a golf polo, summer comfort, you can get anywhere from 25 to 35, 40, depending on what it is. I'd say that's a good average. Pants and shorts are in that range too. Obviously new with tag stuff is going to go for 50 plus. What am I missing? I mean, that hat probably 30, 35 bucks, I would guess.
And if you get a cotton piece, you can subtract a good bit from that. So if you find a
Yeah.
cotton polo, you're talking about a $15 total sale. If you buy a cotton Peter Millar, like, button down shirt, like long sleeve, you're probably talking about $20 total for that thing. But what you're looking for is the summer comfort model or the Crown Sport model. Anything polyester is what you're looking for with Peter Millar. I'm not saying don't pick up the cotton. I typically only pick up the cotton if it's going to be maybe $2. It'd have to be really low price for me to get the cotton. It doesn't sell as fast either. It's the polyester stuff that people are looking for. There you go, summer comfort right there, and that's probably 100% poly shirt, or it's like a 88 poly 12 spandex maybe.
Yeah, I passed some Peter Millar cottons today. I just don't pick them up anymore because they go for like $20 and it's not worth it. People don't want cotton in the summer anymore. Most people.
I pick them up very sparingly. I actually did pick up one this week, but it was $3, and at that time my cart was pretty empty, so I was like, I'm gonna fill this dang cart up. But yeah, I typically pass on them too.
Yeah. Well, Chris, this has been a fun show, and you definitely got to wear that jacket back next week.
I hope it doesn't last till next week. I'm gonna get this thing listed tomorrow. Let's get it gone. I know somebody out there is probably gonna want to buy this thing. I mean, look at this.
Let's just start the auction at $1 and see what happens.
That could be fun. I don't really like the auction clothes so much, but I mean, it's got jewelry on it, so that should they should be paying for the jewelry too, the gold on it. But I do want to be able to mall walk on it at least a couple times before it goes. So.
Yeah, you got to make some TikTok videos before it goes.
How about a live mall walk video on TikTok?
Only if you really are mall walking, Chris. I mean, you got to get the swinging arms and stuff too.
Damn, man! Imagine what people would. Yeah, you have to go early in the morning, don't you, for that kind of stuff?
I think so. I mean, I wouldn't know. I've never done it before, but I would guess.
There's a tissue
by
in the
4
pocket,
p.m.
So
mall walkers are at home eating dinner.
Yeah, I hear you. There's a tissue in the pocket, so I'm not really super excited about that. And a Denny's restaurant receipt from January the 12th, 2017, from Denny's restaurant in Largo, Florida, which is not far from me and not far from the thrift store.
That's hilarious.
So somebody was still wearing this in 2017, and went out. Somebody went out
to Denny's.
To Denny's. Oh wait, it was probably after a mall walk. 9:53 a.m. Someone went to Denny's, just crushing this.
Or they were fueling up for their after Denny's mall walk.
Oh my gosh! I was expecting the receipt to say 1994 or something on it. That is awesome. Yeah. Somebody was actually wearing this in 2017. Oh, that's great. They got tap water, a senior starter with bacon, and they got a AAA discount on here too.
I like how they had to put on the receipt tap water.
Yeah.
Make sure you get that one in.
I didn't know AAA discount was still a thing, but anyway.
Yeah. Well, this has been a fun show. We've had a lot of fun tonight. Chris, as always, with the heat there, bringing the fire on the show.
It is actually kind of hot with this thing on. Thanks everyone for joining. If you haven't taken a second to like the show, if you cracked a smile for half of a second tonight and you didn't hate the show, maybe go hit that like button. That helps us out a ton. If you're looking to buy some stuff, some reselling supplies, Jason down below has all the stuff that he uses, and it's all the same stuff that I use to pack orders, to ship orders, the lights, all that stuff, scales, printers, all that stuff that you're going to buy anyway. Why not go ahead and click one of those links and buy stuff? And that means that Jason gets a little piece of the action. It helps support this show. Get that money. Get that money. And by the way,
we'll come on another week.
Exactly. And by the way, a lot of people don't realize this. If you buy stuff regularly on Amazon, if you click one of those links, even if you don't buy that item, but you click that link and then you do your regular Amazon shopping, that helps support the show financially too. A lot of people don't realize that, and that's a huge help when people just go in, click one of those links, and do your grocery shopping.
Yeah, helps us out. And Chris, you're working on links too.
Yeah, you can support my links. Is my link tree linked somewhere in this thing?
I I have your TikTok. So
Yeah,
people
you can go to my
come here.
TikTok and you can click on my
Yeah.
link tree. You can see all my links too.
Yeah.
Whatever is easier for you. It
Yeah.
supports the show either way.
Yeah. Well, thanks so much, guys. This has been a great week, and we'll catch you on the next episode of Two Flippin' Dudes next week.
Peace and nice win tonight, Jason.
Thanks a lot,
Congrats.
Chris. We'll see you next week.